Okay, Kamari, just a couple more days and you're back in school with us, and we won't have to do this anymore. Hopefully, you're excited about that. I know I am. Anyway, so I want to talk to you a little bit more about summarizing, and I'm going to start by looking at this story with you. I'm really kind of bummed out. A lot of kids just haven't been doing these activities with all these stories about these two guys, Max and Kai. This was one, the two guys they tried out, they're good buddies. And at this point, they both tried out for a basketball team, and Kai made it onto the team, but Max did not. And so they're kind of dealing with that right now. And we're going to read this story today. And we're talking about making a summary. And a summary is just when you tell a real short version of what happens in a story. Now, someone I say, Kamari, what happens in this story? Making new friends. You're not going to sit here and tell every single little detail that happens. You're just going to keep it really simple and really basic. Just tell the basic events that happen. So we're going to go through and we're going to look at what needs to be kept in for a summary and what could be left out. All right. So let's just read the story. Kai had never experienced two extreme opposite emotions at the same time in all his life. Though he was thrilled that he made the team, he never dreamed he'd be so devastated to learn that Max would not be playing with him. I highlight devastated because that's a good word. I mean, he's just so sad and upset about it. When he pictured himself playing on this team, Max was always playing right by his side. I'm going to miss you so much, Kai told Max. Me too. I just wish I could turn back time and do it all over again, Max replied. I think I might sign up for soccer, though. I have to do something, and soccer sounds like it would be fun, Max said with little to no excitement in his voice. Right when the boys decided to go out and shoot some hoops, Kai's phone rang. Hello, Kai answered. Hey, Kai, this is Brendan from basketball. I heard that you made the team. So did I, he repeated excitedly. I just wondered if you wanted to get together sometime to practice a little bit and hang out and stuff, he asked. Yeah, sure, that sounds great. Let's talk at practice tomorrow night and make a plan, Kai replied. See you tomorrow. Bye. Who was that? Asked Max. Oh, it was Brandon from Ball. He made the team and wants to hang out sometime, Kai replied. Even though Max knew he shouldn't be angry, he felt a swarm of jealousy swirling through his body. Well, you're gonna hang out with him then? He asked. Yeah, I guess, Kai responded. So I think I need to go home. I have some things to do and I don't really feel like playing ball right now anyway, Max said as he opened the front door. Wait, are you sure? We'll have fun. I thought you wanted to shoot hoops and stuff. Please don't go. We can do something else if you want, Kai begged. No, it's okay. I need to get going, Max replied. Kai watched Max walk down the street until he reached his house. Ring, ring. Kai picked up the phone again. Hello? Sorry to call again. It's Brendan. I forgot to tell you that I also have a membership at the community clubhouse and I can bring a friend for free. They have a huge court with a ton of basketball hoops. It's really fun, Brendan reported. Cool. That sounds like a lot of fun. I've been there once and it was a blast, Kai said. I'm actually heading there with my dad right now. Do you want us to come and pick you up on the way? Brendan asked. Oh, fun. Yeah, let me ask my mom and I'll call you right back, said Kai. After Kai called back and told Brendan that he'd love to go, he changed his clothes, filled his water bottle, and headed out the door to wait for them. They pulled up and Kai hopped into the back seat. As they drove down the street, Kai noticed that Max was sitting on his front porch. Max made eye contact with Kai as they drove by, and he knew that Max also saw Brendan. It was just too much for Max to bear. After the car passed, he ran inside his house, dove into his bed, and hid his face deep in his pillow. Okay, so kind of a sad part of the story here, but now I want to go through here and see what do we really need for a summary and what can be left out. Okay, and let's just start up at the beginning. Now, when you think of a summary, summaries are actual. It's kind of like stepping stones. If you've ever been in a park and you're walking across a pond and there's stepping stones that can get you from one side to the other, think of a summary as kind of like that, stepping stones, where it's just one little event happening after the other. And all the extra stuff, all the details and things and emotions that characters are feeling, we don't necessarily need that. Okay? It's just the what happened. So let's take a look. So, like, look at this whole beginning part. Kai had never experienced two extreme emotions at the same time in all his life. Though he was thrilled that he made the team, he never dreamed. This is not important for the summary. It's not telling anything that happened there. All right, it's just telling how Kai feels. All this is talking about is how Kai feels so sad that Max didn't make the team, and so we don't need that for the summary. Okay. Then look down here. Right when the boys decided to go out and shoot some hoops, Kai's phone rang. Hello, Kai answered. Hey, Kai, this is Brendan from basketball. Man, this is where Brendan's asking him if he wants to go hang out. Now, this is important. This is something that happened in the story, right? So we definitely want this, right? This is definitely a step, right? So if we were going to put this in the summary, we would just kind of say, Brendan called Kai and asked if he wanted to hang out sometime. That's the first step in this story. That's really the first important event that happened. Let's go back. So yeah, sure, that sounds great. Let's talk at practice tomorrow. Now. So all this stuff, we don't need that in the summary. The bottom line, this is just all, all this stuff here. This is Brendan calling. That's Brendan calling Kai, ask if he wants to hang out. We don't need to go in so much detail. Just the bottom line, what happened? Brendan called Kai and asked him if he wanted to hang out sometime. Then let's look. Who was that? Asked Max. Oh, it was Brendan from Ball. He made the team and wants to hang out. So this is where, hey, look what it says. Even though Max knew he shouldn't be angry, he felt a swarm of jealousy swirling through his body. Well, you're going to like hang out with him then? So all this talking, we got an important thing going on here. This is where Max, when he finds out that it was Brendan who called. Max starts to feel jealous, right? You hear all the stuff he's asking. Well, you're gonna hang out with him then? Yeah, I guess. So then he says, "Well, I think I'm gonna go home." So we can really see what's happening here. The next step would be Max got jealous and went home. And went home. Brendan called Kai and asked if he wanted to hang out sometime. Max got jealous and went home. We're just telling it very simple, very short, right? All this stuff of, well, I have to go home. I have some stuff I have to do. I don't really feel like playing ball. Max said as he opened the door and all this stuff. Wait, are you sure we could have fun? All this stuff, if you're summarizing, we don't need that. Bottom line, what happened? Max got jealous because Brendan called and he went home. All right. So we really don't need, even though I'm highlighting it, we don't need any of this stuff here. We just need to bottom line tell that Max got jealous because Brendan called and he went home. So let's look down here. It's Kai gets another call. Sorry again, it's Brendan. I forgot to tell you, I also have a membership to the community clubhouse, and I can bring a friend for free. They have a huge court, a ton of basketball hoops. Kai says he's been there before. It's a lot of fun, and he tells him he's actually going there right now. So I have a membership. I'm actually going there right now. Do you want to come? So then he says, yeah. So this is another important step in this summary. Brendan called back and invited Kai to go with him and his dad to the, what was it called? The community clubhouse. To the community clubhouse. All right. So then, oh yeah, that'd be fun. Let me ask my mom and all this stuff. Where it says, he changed his clothes, filled his water bottle, headed out the door. Not important. They pulled up and Kai hopped in the back seat. Not important. This is all like part of this, the fact that he invited him to come with him. But then look at this. This is probably the next important part. As they drove down the street, Kai noticed Max was sitting on his front porch. Max made eye contact with Kai as they drove by, and he knew that Max also saw Brendan. It was just too much for Max to bear. After the car passed, he ran inside his house, dove onto his bed, hid his face in his pillow. So Max clearly very upset by all this. But again, we don't need all so much. The bottom line is, when Max saw Kai in Brendan's car, he got really upset and ran inside. That's the bottom line, right? We don't need all that. He threw himself on his bed and put his face in his pillow and all that stuff. We don't need that. Just what happened? He just saw him and he got upset. That's really what happened. So again, it's just simple steps, right? What's the things that happen? We don't need to get into great detail. It's just simply what happened. Like, we don't need to say that, when Brendan calls, we don't need to talk about this whole conversation they're having. Just the bottom line, the simple fact is, Brendan invited him to hang out sometime. And then Max, he hears, oh, I'm going to go home. I don't really feel like playing more. Bottom line, he got jealous and he went home. That's all you need to share. And then Brendan called back, told him he's got a membership to the community clubhouse. He can bring a friend. Kai says, I've been there before. It's a blast. Well, we're going there right now. How about we go now? Okay. Changed his clothes, put in Kai's water bottle, got ready to go. Bottom line, Brendan called back, invited Kai to go to him and his dad to the community clubhouse. That's all you need to say. And then all this information about how, as they drove down the street, Kai noticed that Max was sitting on his front porch. Max made eye contact with Kai as they drove by, and he knew that Max also saw Brandon. And then he ran in the house. It's too much for him to bear. He ran, dove on his bed, and hid his face in his pillow. All you need to say is, when Max saw Kai in Brandon's car, he got really upset and ran inside the house. So you just keep it really simple. All right? A summary is just a real simple retelling of what's going on. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences. It's only 4 sentences. But like I said, a summary is very, very simple. If you're going to get into great detail, tell every little part, then you should just give the person the story and go, here, just read it. Right? So when we're summarizing, we keep it very simple. So you'll notice in Seesaw, there's one more part of this story. It's called Kai's Predicament. All right? That's the title of it. Kai's Predicament. Hopefully I'm spelling that right. Okay? And it's the final part of this story. We'll see what Kai does. So go ahead and do that assignment in Seesaw. It should be assigned to you, okay? And there's a part where you summarize and a part where you find themes. Do your best on that. I'm really looking forward to you coming to school so we don't have to do it this way anymore. I think it'll be a lot better. So go ahead and check out that assignment on Seesaw and get to work on it. Do your best. All right, talk to you later.